Welcome,
Well,
everybody.
hello, everybody. Good evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever we find you. Hey, we threw up a quick little poll over there on the right. Love for you guys to respond. We want to see who we have with us tonight. See if we have anybody new or people who've been here before. It's all good. We just kind of like to get a little poll, kind of interact with you. So we're excited. We missed last week because we saved up for this week. We have a very special guest. But before we get started, I turn it over to Nathan to introduce our guest and talk about that. I wanted to go over a couple of things here. We last time, my name's for those that don't know me. Like we have a few new people, so we'll wait. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Jeff Wilhite. I've been here working on the Galvan project since the very beginning. Very excited about what we're doing. And a few weeks ago, maybe it's been a month. Man, I don't know. Time's flying. But I was able to get on here and present and show everybody some of the data that we've been collecting from having our nodes on and the rewards and the referral points. And I'm so excited that everything keeps coming together. Again, having been here for a minute, I am seeing the momentum pick up, and I am excited. I've been involved in a couple projects, and you kind of get this feeling in the air. I spoke about this a few weeks ago, and it just starts to get this buzz and things start to happen, and everything's coming together. We have some really big announcements coming over the next few weeks to a month. We're very excited to share that with you guys. But one thing that I thought I'd just share tonight, just to kind of kick us off here while a few more people are joining, is maybe you saw this, that we announced on like social media and everywhere and email and everything. I think you guys saw that we announced that we're going to have our first NFT giveaway for the first 25,000 people that create accounts. So again, we are working on selling, building our node community. We're building our the people that are going to support the network by owning nodes and having those on. And then we're also going to be, helping bring in a lot of people that want to use the apps like the exercise app or our mental, a fitness app. And that's what we'll be talking a little bit about, the cool technology we're using with a key partnership that we have tonight. But we announced this, guys. This was announced a few days ago, and I just wanted to share with you this announcement here. Hang on. There it is. Okay. Is in the last 48 hours, in case you guys didn't know, last 48 hours, we've had 12,000 new accounts created at Galvan. And the coolest part about this is it is heating up and going super fast. We have that is around the world. That is there. We were tracking this and looking at this. It's caught on internationally. This is the word. It's been a very organic. It's gotten the word out in a few like Telegram accounts and chat rooms and things like that. And people are just going crazy. And so there's some hotspots around the world that are gaining accounts, guys. That is huge. And like we said, when things start to go viral and things kick off, now is the time to get everything. It's all coming together on the project side, but now's the time for you guys. If anybody is wanting to refer people in and to get in, it's time. You get in now before things take off. You don't want to say you missed the the opportunity because you were just thinking about it or just kind of playing around with the idea. Now's the time to come in, get a node, come participate, be part of the account, refer people. There's a lot of additional points that are earned for referring people. So anyway, I just wanted to take a minute to share that news. We're just so excited. Been again just buzzing over here. All of us working on the project, that things are really heating up. So anyway, great news. Well, we're excited again for the Launchpad setup. Just a quick intro. I'll tell you, we're doing these regularly, hopefully every week. These are meant to be very short, sweet updates where we focus on one topic of all of the many aspects of of the project. We try to keep it to 20 minutes or so just to keep them bite-sized, and then we'll continue to just keep feeding you guys more and more information and updates and sharing things every week. But I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to Nathan to introduce our special guest that we're excited to have with us today.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jeff. So yeah, as you guys can tell, we have a special guest with us. This is Henry O'Connell, CEO of Canary Speech. Everyone say hi to Henry. And Henry, meet the Galvan community. It's this meeting, pleasure. This little thing's been a long time coming. So we're super happy to have you. So guys, just a little bit about Henry and Canary Speech, his company. So some of you that have been around Galvan for a while have heard about Canary, but Canary Speech is an amazing speech technology company that has developed this breakthrough technology in the realm of speech recognition. So pretty much what they've been able to do is create an AI and machine learning tech that they are able to use to analyze your digital vocal biomarkers and assess and track mental wellness. In simpler terms, we can record your voice and give you insights into your mental health. It is an amazing technology. We're going to talk a little bit more about it today, but Galvan has a partnership with Canary Speech. We are bringing this technology to our wellness app, hopefully by the end of this year. So we wanted to bring Henry on a call on this Launchpad and have him dive a little bit more into the story of Canary, how the technology came about. And I'll just give a brief little introduction to Henry before we turn it over to him. But Henry, he worked with a speech scientist named Jeff Adams to co-found Canary Speech. He worked at the National Institute of Health after graduate school and neurological research before beginning his successful business career, where he has worked for over 30 years in C-suite positions in the medical, diagnostic, and technology industries. He's worked for Hewlett-Packard and Gilson, among others. Henry has over 20 years of experience in technology company leadership and has worked as a turnaround CEO for 6 technology companies, both private and public. Henry has served on the board of directors for several technology companies, both in the US and internationally. And Henry has authored or co-authored 12 patents and is an invited speaker at technology and healthcare conferences, both in the US and Europe. So without further ado, Henry, how are you doing? It's great to have you here.
Well, it's great to be here. It's hard to live up to the introduction. I'm going to give it my very best. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I mean, it's really a pleasure. It's enjoyable to be here. With or without the PowerPoint that we were talking about, I'm either way. I feel comfortable just talking. All right.
Of course, the PowerPoint's uploading right now, but why not just kick it off? Tell us.
Yes, I will.
Tell us a little bit just about your story, a little bit about yourself and how you got to Canary.
So I have the fortunate opportunity to get to know Jeff Adams, and Jeff and I have been friends for over 40 years now. Jeff and I met when he was at a government institution, work as a worker and developing mathematical models that would de-encrypt messages that were going back and forth between our country and other countries. I was at the National Institutes of Health, as you mentioned. I was doing research in neurological illnesses, but Jeff and I formed a lifelong friendship. Jeff went on, you've already mentioned me, so I won't talk more about myself, but Jeff went on to a career after the government. He worked with a gentleman named Ray Kurzweil, and Ray is one of the premier inventors, scientists in the last 4 or 5 decades, serves on the Google Scientific Advisory Board, or was. He and Jeff formed a friendship and a relationship, business relationship, after his government work, where he developed the very early stages of speech and language technology, and he developed what is called natural language processing. So all of us have experienced calling American Express card and yelling representative. And discrete language recognition is where it recognizes a single word. Natural language processing is where it recognizes the conversation we're having right now. And 30 years ago, that didn't exist. Ray Kurzweil had it in his head that it should, but Jeff had it in his head how to. And he led the team that developed the first commercial NLP. And then that led to, and he developed and led the team at Nuance, their first technology leader, to develop medical dictation software out of that, and went on to develop legal dictation software. That was at the start of his career over 25 years ago. And about 8 years ago, Amazon was looking for a team to build a concept product that they had. And they ended up buying the company Jeff was in. And so they acquired Jeff, and they acquired 17 speech and language scientists, and they acquired a patent lawyer, Jeff O'Neill. And Jeff O'Neill also had a PhD in machine learning, the foundational technology that we use today. And that team went on to build the Alexa product. And it grew into a team of 100 plus speech and language people. And Jeff led that team, and Jeff O'Neill led the patent group that then patented it for Amazon. About 7 years ago, he was finishing up that project, and he graduated from Brigham Young University, was born in Provo, Utah, was raised in California, and we've been friends for 40 years. And he was finishing up that, and I was finishing up some other things. And we met at a bagel shop to chat, have a bagel together. It turned into about a 5.5 hour meeting. And we talked about what we might do in the future and what he wanted to do. And he decided to create an engineering firm that could develop things that didn't exist in speech and language. And we planned that out. And then towards the end of that meeting, probably what I thought was the last 15 minutes, 2 hours before it ended, I said to him, Jeff, you've done a lot in your life. What you're planning to do, this engineering firm will pay the bills. It'll do what you need it to do. But what is it that you want to do? And he thought a little bit, and he said, well, I've always wanted to apply speech and speech analysis to human condition and disease. I'd like to be able to use the richness of speech to help diagnose individuals' health conditions and to help them manage their own lives in maybe on a smart device. And I said, well, why don't we do that too? And that was out of that bagel shop, the idea that we would. I asked him, and he then talked with me about where the field was, the richness of an MIT or a Carnegie Mellon or a Cambridge University and the work that they had been doing. And he described that. He's really a pioneer in the field. And so he described what they were doing. And the analysis at the time and for the previous 5, 6, 7 years had been focused on analyzing the words that people speak, or the missing words, or the gaps in words. And I listened to him, and then we've been friends for 40 years. He knows my kids as well, almost as I do. And I said to him, Jeff, forgive me, but when my daughter comes home, 10 years earlier than that from soccer practice, and she strides across the room, I could tell from her walk that it was a good day or a bad day. When she turns and looks at me, her facial expressions tell me a whole bunch more. And when she opens her mouth and starts to talk, I get a pretty good impression it wasn't a good day. And when I say to her, how was your day? And she said, it was fine, I don't want to talk about it, and walks away, I stop her because I love her. And I say, that was not a good day expression. And I said, that information, her facial expressions, her body, her speech, all give me an idea that I have a pretty clear understanding that it was a lousy day, or it was a stressful day, or it was a happy day, or it was an exciting day. She doesn't live with me anymore. It's not the best moment of my life, but every child grows up, and she's married and she has kids. But I call her every day. And I said, Jeff, when I call her, and I can assure you it's irritatingly accurate and within moments, and it has nothing to do with what she's saying. I know she's having a good day, or she's having a bad day, or it's a rough day. How am I getting that done? Because it has nothing to do with the words she's speaking, and I'm not analyzing the language. And Jeff said, I'm not sure. And that led us to approach this field in a way that was unique enough that we were issued 5 patents. Our initial patents received 100% of their claims. There was no prior art. And so we're analyzing 12.5 million data points a minute. And they have nothing to do with the words one's speaking or the language they're speaking it in. So that approach has allowed us to move this market forward, or the technology forward, to make it reasonable. Our byline is improving health one voice at a time. You could move forward if you don't mind. You have to realize, and it's not something I consciously ever thought about until I got into this, but our voice is the most complex set of data that we as individuals create, second only to our genome. Our genetic code is more complex, but our speech engages multiple motor functions in our body, our lungs, our larynx, our vocal cords, the muscles associated with it, our tongues, our cheek, our jaw, all of it happening self-consciously, and all of it happening as if it were being conducted by a grand master conductor. It flows out of our mouth without a thought. We're able to do that in 130 different languages. It's the same neural system doing it. It's the same brain. It's all the same codes running down our nervous system. That allows us then to look at those codes. And what our brain is trying to do is to create functional language that we've learned over a span of our lifetime. But all of it is orchestrated as if each and every individual instrument as a contributor is controlled by this wonderful thing we call our brain. If we have a defect, whether it's a sore on our tongue or a defect in our larynx or a degenerative neurological disease, the very first thing that our body and our brain tries to do is to keep that speech normal. When we do that, we change those biomarkers or features in our speech, and those are recognizable by deep neural nets. And so that was our approach, and that approach was novel enough that we were able to apply it to Japanese, to multiple other languages, and to function in different countries. So you can apply, since this is such a natural, non-invasive set of data, you can apply that across a range of different applications and across a range of populations, people, and others. What we have found is, practical areas of addressing what we call employee burnout, but all of us get burnt out in our own lives. If we have biofeedback that's easy to create through a simple 20 or 30 second audio on a smartphone or smart device, and we can do it privately, and we can get a response, and we can then watch how we're trending over time. We can track that against how many hours of sleep we're getting, or how much exercise we're getting, or are we listening to the music we love? Are we engaging with people who are building us up? We can track that and see where are the patterns in our life that allow us to live a healthy life. And it's so important. It's inexpensive to do. It's not invasive. It can be done privately. It can be done across medical data networks. It can be done in the privacy of your own home. So all of these things make it as a tool to engage with and to incorporate into our life, and to give us actually objective information that gives us biofeedback that we can then look at the patterns of our life and say, when I'm doing this, I'm healthy. And when I'm not, I'm not. I'm going to do that, you know? Go ahead, if you don't mind.
Awesome. And I'll just say something on something you just said there. That is exactly how it's going to work in the Galvan Wellness app as well. Because as many of you guys know, we are incorporating fitness, and we're going to incorporate a bunch of different things that you can do to improve your physical and mental health. So this is why Canary is going to be such an awesome tool for us. But anyways, continue.
And so when you think about this, just following up on that, the whole idea that you could use your personal speech, the privacy of your personal space, to get information that can help you manage your life, was just something that excited Jeff and I. The whole idea was, imagine in 30 seconds, we've collected over 6 million data points. The thing that's even more amazing than that to me is we process that and return a score to you in 3 to 5 seconds. So we've been able to build the infrastructure and the technology capability where you're getting this in real time. You're not waiting a day to see what your stress was, which became irrelevant about 10 minutes after you wanted to measure it. So you can associate it with, you get it back in seconds, and you look at it and you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I should be doing some different things with my life. Or, hey, I'm on track. This is exactly where I want to be. So that's the kind of thing. We wanted to make this practical to the individual and practical to helping them in managing their life. You know, speech is something that is natural for all of us. For a person like myself, I talk too much. But for most of us, you know, looking at a picture and describing what you see in the picture, or addressing a prompt like, hey, you know, how do I really feel today? And you think about that. So we're not asking you to engage in anything that's other than just conversation, like you would be having with a friend. Why don't you go on, if you don't mind? So when you think about it, what we've tried to do is to simplify this so that we can help individuals monitor their own health in a fast and non-invasive way, and in a way that is accurate enough and accurate so that they feel good about it. We partner with a number of healthcare institutions around the world. We're currently working with Harvard and Beth Israel, where we're looking at the basis of a particular illness or disease. And in that particular case, the researchers at Harvard and the clinical staff at Beth Israel have combined with Canary to look at Huntington's disease. But we're going to expand that. That was a kind of a point of interest. Imagine and I didn't know this until I started working with these people, but Huntington's is a genetic disease that has a gene marker or a genetic marker. So individuals may know early in their life that they're going to get Huntington's. They just don't know when it's going to happen. At the onset of Huntington's, they measure vocal engagement on a 4-point scale. So the 4-point scale currently is 1, reverse for you, but 1, there's no vocal engagement, and 4, they can't talk. So that's a pretty rough scale. When we did our initial work with them, we found over 1,100 specific markers in speech that relate to the quality of a Huntington's patient's speech. Over 1,100. The promise to that is that we will be able to build an algorithm that could more accurately and more specifically follow this patient across and potentially even diagnose the onset of their Huntington's many years earlier. And the same thing is true of other diseases. So the work that Canary is engaging with Galvan in is tested and validated in clinical environments, and then we bring it forward so that it can be utilized across populations in a way that's helpful in their lives and practical in their lives, if you don't mind. This is just kind of a wheel of, or a half wheel of kind of the process. For Canary, it's the capture of audio. Or you're connecting on a device, you're capturing audio. We analyze that audio on the web. We create results. Obviously, we're managing that data and the passage of those results. And then we return a report. And this entire cycle is approximately 5 seconds of time. So we're capturing about 20 seconds of conversational speech. And then we're returning a score to you in approximately 5 seconds. And other things can exaggerate that or speed that up. But on average, it's about 5 seconds, 6 seconds. We run that in a completely medical data records compliant environment. Even if it's in your health and wellness area, it's de-identified and confidential to you. We treat the data as if we had gotten it from a patient at a hospital. So we just want you to know that we operate at the same data security level that any large institution, medical institution in the country is operating. And we're doing that right now in Europe, in Asia, and here in the US. Do you mind going on? We mentioned Jeff Adams already. The team is much larger than this. The slide is, if you put too many faces up, people wonder what you're trying to do. But Jeff and I, of course, co-founded the company. Jeremy has worked in a range of different technology companies for a while. Nate Blaylock came on board over a year ago now, but Nate was running a technology team at Nuance. Nuance is the company that Jeff first managed as their senior technology person. And Nate Blaylock was managing one of their divisions and came on board with us. Caitlin happens to be the young lady I just told that story about. She's my oldest, and she has 2 children. And when I call her, I promise you, I know what her feelings are. I mean, all of us get that experience.
Do you use the app to help you as well? Do you put it up to the phone and get the analysis from her voice? No.
I want to live another day. Thank you. So I think, and Namhee has been with us now over 5 years and is Korean born, honestly, one of the brightest speech and language scientists in the country. Our speech and language science team has recently expanded by 2 additional people. We hired, I think, one of the best European speech and language scientists in Europe and among the top 5 in the world. David Brown runs our engineering firm. Ethan O'Connell is our customer success manager, director, and the team it goes on from there. But it's a wonderful group of people, among the best I've ever worked with. Each of them brought a breadth of experience. Caitlin was working for 3M Medical prior to my convincing her she should come on board. And just a great group of people. I think you could go on from here. You guys are going to get your own.
We'll get our own demo.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has been awesome. Honestly, thank you so much, Henry. I think I could listen to you for another hour, honestly. But
well, you're being generous, and thank you.
But yeah, no, I agree. As Stan said in the comments, and we've been getting a lot of awesome reactions, this is going to be revolutionary. This is one of a kind. Canary is paving the way. and using speech like we've never seen before. And the best part about it is that Galvan has heard about them early on, and we have an amazing partnership with them to bring this technology to all of you. So we're so grateful for this partnership. Thank you so much, Henry. If we have maybe time for 1 or 2 questions. If you guys have any questions, drop it in the chat. Maybe we'll answer one here, but Henry, any last things you'd like to share?
I'm actually headed to Japan over the weekend for 10 days to meet with a range of people. As I mentioned, we're working with the Japanese government to put voice into their annual healthcare assessment, which they conduct with nearly 30 million people annually. Just some wonderful things are happening. And certainly if there are any questions that come to you even afterwards, let me know.
Yep. We will. We'll pass. If any remaining questions, just DM us on social media or on Discord. So anyways, hey, everyone say thank you to Henry. It's been awesome to have you. We'll have to have you again in the future. And guys, stay tuned for the wellness app. The first run of it is going to have fitness features, but the second run of it is going to have Canary Speech technology embedded into it. So Donna Official asked, when does this start? Yeah, so like I said, it's hopefully by the end of the year, we'll be integrated with Canary in our wellness app. Anyways, thank you so much, Henry. It's been awesome to have you.
Thanks.
And
you take care.
And thank you everyone who joined the call. Have a great
night
or morning. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Bye.